Hey hockey fans, I'm Monica McKenzie, and joining me today is Rhett McGibbon to talk about the D2 season. So just getting right into it, we saw the D2 team break records last season, record-breaking season for them. They did great. And then I'm not sure people really expected them to have such a great year coming off of that record-breaking season. So talk a bit, comparing those two teams, what you've seen from them.
Well, they did graduate some important guys, but they also brought some really key guys in. Paul Lamoureux, one of those guys, Robert Ward, one of those guys. They have high-end experience. So honestly, I wasn't surprised. If fans were, I don't think they should have been, because you got your returners that go up there. You got your Barimas, your Kasmers, Zachs, Dockstader, Freeman, kind of your core guys, offensive guys that had a great experience, got just so much wisdom, I guess you could say, playing at the national tournament and going to the national championship game, that they come in and they're even better players this year. So it's a Liberty team that's going to be really tough to beat this season.
And already we've seen them, 12-0, great start to the season, beating huge teams, NCAA D3 Stevenson, and then D1 program Slippery Rock. So talk a bit about what you've seen from them specifically in games this year, about what they've been doing well.
Well, it's just confidence. Their confidence in their game and their ability to battle back when they're down. And also, I think they go into it with the mindset that we can beat any team we play. When they beat Slippery Rock right off the bat, they're a Division I team. Imagine the confidence you get. Hey, we just beat a Division I team, we're D2. And then they go and play an NCAA D3 team and they win that game in overtime with a goaltender from the Division III team. Like, you got to be kidding me at one point, you know what I mean? Like, the confidence as an all-time high, and I truly believe in that locker room. They think it's their championship to win this season.
Well, we had the chance to talk to assistant coach Mike Morrison and get his thoughts on the upcoming showcase this weekend.
Being 12-0 for the second straight year in a row is a pretty good feeling, I guess you could say. The thing that's difficult about that is that everyone is on your back, right? Everyone wants to win. Everyone's coming in to take you down, and we try and use that as motivation. I know that Coach Lowe's and I and Coach Bennett are super proud and super pumped of our guys and just the camaraderie they have, and kind of how they're bonding together and building together, and how they look at each game as an individual game. They're not looking at the big picture of things, and I think that that's really contributed to our success on and off the ice. This weekend coming up, I think, will be a big test for kind of a litmus test of where our team is at, kind of what we're expecting, how we want our lines to roll, and how we want our guys to perform specifically. And so we'll kind of get a good idea of that. I think that the two goalies are really starting to perform and come into their element. I know that Coach Bennett has really been working on them, especially Wednesday practices. We have a goalie session, and we've been able to see quite a bit of improvement just with those goalie sessions and the minute details, and that's really important as we go out through years. So I think it's been excellent that we've been able to kind of ride both of them and learn from both of them and get some wins from both of them. And so we're looking to obviously keep getting better for the end of the season.
It's always good to hear from assistant coach Mike Morrison. So one of the things I take away from that is what he was saying about goaltending. For a team who's 12-0, you think nothing's really going wrong. Obviously, they're doing great so far, but goaltending for them has been a bit of a struggle. They have two freshmen coming in. They don't really know who's going to start each night heading into the game. So what do you take from that as a former goaltender?
Yeah, it's just getting a guy rolling, and how you do that exactly, it's not a perfect science, right? So it's just getting somebody some confidence. And it's tough, like all three other goaltenders that they have on their roster, none of them played Liberty hockey last year. So the inexperience factor, I think, is tough, but the skill factor is there. Like, these guys can stop the puck, they can play. It's just one of them, sooner or later, is going to catch fire and get the confidence going, and he's going to be the guy. And it seems like right now it seems to be Epp. He seems to be playing very well. But, it's a tough challenge. You're going to see some games where a young guy gets in net and he's going to let in a bad couple of goals. Yeah. It's up to the coaching staff whether they want to leave him in there and kind of build that mental fortitude and see if he can stay in the game and eventually come out with a win, or do you give him the yank and you bring in the other guy? It's a tough one. I wouldn't want to be in Chris Lowe's shoes when it comes to those decisions.
Yeah. Well, taking a look at this weekend, the Liberty Showcase, lots of teams coming in here, some challenging teams for Liberty, Davenport, Toledo, and Penn State. So for them this weekend to keep the streak going, but also just to build confidence in the goalies and just keep seeing success as a team, what do they need to do this weekend?
Well, you're playing against three high-end teams, right? Toledo beat them last year, gave them their second loss of the season. I believe they played the trap, which really shut down the neutral zone and kind of limited the skill factor of the D2 team. You've got Penn State, a team you cannot sleep on, and then Davenport, as you were saying, number one in the Central. So it's difficult, and I'll kind of explain it this way. Playing at Liberty is kind of like for Canadians and Americans that live up north playing Hockey Night in Canada. You're on TV, it's kind of national coverage, it's a quality broadcast, and opposing teams mark it down on the calendar. Hey, we're playing Liberty this weekend. My dad's going to be able to watch me play. My parents are going to watch me, so I'm going to have my best performance. And obviously, it's an undefeated team, so everybody wants to give them their first loss. So they're going to have to be extremely focused coming into this weekend. They're going to have to just take it game by game. You can't look at it as a 3-game set. You got to think of, okay, our first game, we knock that one down. When you win that one, the next one gets a little bit easier for you, in my opinion, because, like you said, that confidence factor.
Yeah. Well, it's definitely going to be an exciting weekend. Thanks for joining me, Rhett.
My pleasure.